Hey all, it's me, the Lime Citrus. Just before I start this video, I just want to say I don't hate I don't hate Christians or any of the groups in this video. I just thought this would be a fun video because I really like this game. If you don't know about Creepypasta Saved by Jesus, editing me put some pictures of it up. It's the best game on the planet. So basically, it's like a normal creepypasta. It's in Roblox, and then Jesus shows up, or a Catholic, or actually no, it's not a Catholic. It's just a Christian. Sorry, and he saves them. I have all the creepypastas here. There's a lot of creepypastas in this list, but these are the only ones in Creepypasta Saved by Jesus as of writing this video. They're going to add My Little Pony and Smiling Dog eventually, but they haven't yet. Start off, we got Jeff the Killer. This is a classic. Sorry, this camera's weird. Yeah, so essentially, it starts out the way Jeff the Killer does, where Jeff the Killer's like, "Heh, go to sleep, kid." I don't think he says that, but he's breaking into this kid's room, and then the kid's like, "God, please save me." And then Jeff the Killer's like, who's God? And then the kid's like, God created all of us. And he's like, "Ha! Then he created a monster." And then he tries to attack him anyways. But then Jesus shows up. And you'll find this is the theme, that Jesus shows up. Like, he's like, in the world of Creepypasta Saved by Jesus, Jesus has a lot of free time on his hands. Anyways. Yeah, so there's just kind of like, he just kind of shows up to save people. And that's kind of awesome, I think. This is S tier. This is the best ever. I think this is a classic, truly. Then we got Slenderman. So the Slenderman one's a lot shorter, if I remember correctly. The original three are a lot shorter than all the others. But Jeff the Killer, Slenderman. In the Slenderman one, this kid is running from Slenderman, and he drops his Bible. And Slenderman gets stunned by this, because he's like, I've never seen this book before. And so what he does is he starts to read the Bible. And then eventually he goes to this kid's house, and the kid's like, "What are you doing here, Slenderman?" And he's like, "I've become a devout Catholic, or devout Christian. Can you teach me more about God?" And then the kid's like, "Of course." And this is another S tier story. Then we got Ben Drowned. So in this story, what happens is that this kid, it's the same as the original Ben Drowned. Like, this kid picks up the haunted game cartridge, but instead of being scared by Ben Drowned, he's like, "Are you okay, mister?" And then Ben Drown's like, "Nah, not really. I'm scared." He's like, and then he holds up his, like, cross and Bible, and he's like, "Please, I'll put these into the TV and grab you." And you saying, there's no way that works. It works flawlessly, and he goes into, like, at the end of all these stories, like, they go into, like, heaven. They go into heaven, but there's two heavens. One where, like, it's used when in the post-credit scene, where they're like, and then Jeff the Killer became a devout Catholic, or devout Christian. Oh my gosh, I keep slipping up. But yeah, and then there's the other one where there's no cross in the background, but we're still in heaven. Jesus summons this when he's still trying to make someone a child of God, and yeah, he grabs him, and then he becomes a devout Catholic. And he's just like a ghost. Ghosts exist in this universe. And this story is, without a doubt, S tier. Clockwork. I'm gonna be honest, I don't like this one as much. But that's not important, because it's so awesome. Because it starts with, Natalie being like, "Man, all my friends are so mean to me. I think I'm gonna become a villain." And then they skip over all the stuff that actually makes her become a villain. I read Clockwork, the creepypasta, because I heard it was coming to Creepypasta Saved by Jesus. They didn't do any of the stuff that's, like, in that story in Clockwork, probably because it's not appropriate. But then Natalie goes to her friend's house, and she's like, "Remember all the times that you wronged me 20 years or 5 years ago or whatever? I'm evil now." And then the friend's like, "Jesus, please save me." And then Jesus envelops her friend in, like, or Natalie's friend in, like, a holy light. before like summoning or being summoned behind Natalie. This doesn't deter Natalie though, and Natalie's still kind of just going like this or like this, with a knife in her hand because she's gonna Jaffa kill that guy. Anyways, then God or Jesus brings Natalie to heaven, but the one like where there's no cross in the background, and Jesus swaps spots with Natalie to like to make sure Natalie doesn't kill this person. But yeah, then the story ends with Jesus being like, your sins can be forgiven. This story is actually I'm changing these because this is S plus. I'll create one below it that's just S. S. Actually, we'll create S. Yeah, just S, and then we'll add below. And then you're S plus, and you're S. Yeah, because all these stories are kind of awesome. Then we got Tiki Toby. So in this story, we're once again in the woods, and our protagonist is kind of chilling, and Tiki Toby's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and then we're like, and then he throws his axe at this guy, and he perfectly chops through a tree. Sorry, I'm gonna move my camera. And then the kid's like, oh my gosh, you're awesome. And that's a really cool God-given talent. And and Tiki Toby's like, huh, really? It's like, yep, you could be a great lumberjack one day, or something like that. And they like go to church or something. It's awesome. And then they meet with all their friends, these three, which were all in church. I think this one was written before this one, to be honest, but I don't know. Then we got Hero Brian. So this one takes place inside of a Christian Minecraft server. I fucking hate gambling. Fuck you. Anyways, yeah, so what happens in this one is Hero Brian invades this Christian Minecraft server, and he's grieving because he fell into temptation. And then this one's actually pretty short, but then Jesus shows up, and he's like, Hero Brian, stop that. Alex, Steve, here's a command block. Take away Hero Brian's op. And then that works, and it's the best thing ever. I'm putting this one in S plus tier. Then I'm deleting these tiers, because low-key they suck. Just like, anyways, then we got Laughing Jack. This one, I'm gonna be honest, it's kinda okay. Like, it's still one of the best stories ever created by man. But, so what happens in it is a kid gets Laughing Jack as a toy. And then the kid's like, sorry, I gotta go to church. Here's a Bible to keep your time while I'm at church. And then 20 years later, Jesus shows up and he's like, hey, that boy died that night. You've been reading the Bible for 20 years. And he's like, and Laughing Jack's like, what? And then also he has a new Christian getup, and it's awesome. This story, I said I didn't like it, but it's awesome. Then we got, the last but definitely not least, we got Sonic.exe. This kid gets Sonic.exe. The one difference in the original is that freaking another Ojo ad. Hate gambling. Disappear before I can report it. I'm gonna lose it, dog. But anyways, what happens in it? What happens in Sonic.exe is that, yeah, he's like, either destroy this disc or turn Sonic.exe into a Christian. And then our protagonist is like, of course. So naturally, he plugs in the disc, and then he's like, and then Sonic.exe is like, ha, I'm God. And then this kid's like, I don't worship false idols. And then he leaves the game and uploads the Bible into the computer, which just, I'm assuming Sonic.exe like sits and reads the entire Bible, or at least that's what I hope happens. They don't actually tell me. But I'm assuming that's what happens. Either way, the story's S plus here, because I can only assume like Jesus like possesses Sonic because there's like the Jesus light in the computer, like the Jesus light that appears when Jesus shows up in the computer, and that could only mean that Jesus shows up, but we don't actually see him. I'm assuming it's either Sonic.exe fights Jesus in the computer, or Sonic.exe just kind of like reads the entire Bible, or he just accepts it because it was like uploaded to his code. Either way, he has like a cross on his chest, and that's awesome. Thanks so much for watching my Truth Social video. I'll be back later, eventually, when I feel like it.